Hey y'all, I just want to have a candid conversation. We're gonna get deep, but it's fun, but it's really important what I'm about to talk about, which is vision. Love is where they love. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you enjoy the video. Now sis, if you don't have a vision for your life, you'll be drifting, right? We don't want that. So I want to talk about our vision for ourselves because first of all, it has to be for ourselves, our vision for ourselves, because it can't be someone else's vision for us or a partner, like a male's vision for us. I'm going to get into the benefits of decentering men and also the detriments of having a man at the center of your life. We're going to get into it. Firstly, we want to start thinking about our vision. This is so important. You want to grab your journal. This is something that you're going to ponder on and be meditating on most likely for the rest of your life. But if you've never actually sat down and had the initial realization like, oh, this is something that I actually need to plan out and plot out. It's like any screenwriter, if they're making a movie, they have to go to the drawing board and decide, what is this movie about, blah, 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 what's going to happen, who are the characters. You know, our lives are very customizable. And if we don't take the time to customize it and set intentions and delegate different things and tell our focus where it's going to go and give things an assignment and a thing to do, then we're going to be living life on autopilot. We're going to be living a life that is given to us. Like whatever we're influenced by around us, that's going to be what's shaping us. And a lot of what's around us are advertisements and just different like toxic media stuff, just really playing into your insecurities and making you, hopefully they want to make you feel less than, so that you can supplement and seek out and search and fill that void with their product. So they want to sell you something. So it's important to just make sure that you're in control of your life and not someone else, because if you've studied marketing or you've studied sociology and print media and how those things do have an effect on our minds, we're very susceptible. Humans can be very impressionable, susceptible, and depending on how strong your boundaries are, what guidelines you already set in place, it's going to determine whether you really are just going with the flow of whatever's happened with you around you, right? You don't want to just live a life adrift. So ladies, think about that man that's possibly in your life. I want you to think about your parents, what they see for you. Yeah, because I mean, a lot of us, we all grow up absorbing these ideas about what we should do. And in school, we, what our teachers put on us. And we're constantly hearing things about ourselves. And people are always telling us about ourselves. What do you think you are? Like, who are you? Who do you say that you are? Like, who do you choose to be? So we want to create a clear vision for our lives. So it's often recommended for us to think about our funeral and what people will say about us, and to think about sculpting the life that will yield the type of reactions and responses that we want, right? If you want someone to be like, yeah, they were always so generous, so thoughtful, and so kind, and they had such a big heart, and they inspired me because of that. Or, whatever it is, like they were always blah, 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 blah. They were so funny and like they were so lighthearted, and they always put a smile on my face whenever I was feeling bad. Whatever it is, you want to start to cultivate it. Like there's a lot of questions we can ask ourselves that will start to help us understand what are our values in life and what it is that we ultimately want. Because a lot of people, I've come to realize, a lot of people don't know what makes them happy. A lot of people don't know what they want. Like if you were to ask them, okay, you have a magic wand, whatever you want, it happens. Whatever you want to strive to do, you might have a hurdle or two, but you're gonna do it. Goal after goal after goal for the rest of your life. All your wildest dreams, they all end up coming true, as long as you can just keep going through life. So what does your life end up looking like? Or where are you? Where do you end up? We learn in life that not everybody is great at everything, but certain things are a muscle. And so your imagination can be flexed. You can practice visualizing certain things. Like right now, here's an option for you. You can visualize an apple. Now you close your eyes and you just visualize an apple. Is that apple green? Is it red? Is it a gala apple? What size is it? Is it shiny? Is it a little dull? Does it have luster? Feel it in your hand. What does it feel like? Can you smell it? What's the temperature of it? How detailed are you able to get with this visualization? Like if I tell you take a bite out of it, with your eyes still closed, take a bite out of it. Do you hear the sound? Can you taste the flavors? Can you feel the juice of it on your lips? How deep can you go with it? It's a muscle. For me, mine is very active. Mine is very, very active. Might be my neurodivergence, neurospicy over here, But hey, I love it. It works out for me. But women especially, we need to think about that. And so one thing I want to mention before I forget, but in terms of like safety, that's kind of why I feel like certain things that I do want for my life, I have to sacrifice not allowing those things to happen yet because of my environment, because of my current environment. Like, for example, if you live in a 1-bedroom, no shade to anybody who lived like this, because I understand this is the reality sometimes, but we got to be real with ourselves. This is never the ideal situation. We never want this. But let's say you're living in a 1-bedroom with 3 generations of people and it's a whole bunch of y'all up in there. And let's say your lover also lives there. Y'all married. Y'all just got married. Do you want to have kids? Is that the time to have kids? Even though you see yourself as a mother one day, is that the time to have kids? If the answer is no, you need to do everything you can to make sure that you don't get pregnant, because that could cause your life to slow down, and it might stunt a little bit of progress. Not stunt your progress, but it might slow down any progress that you could have had that situation not happened. So there's sacrifices to be made. Like, for example, for me, this is not a safe place, I feel, to be bearing children when Black women are having such high maternal mortality rates, and doctors and nurses continuously being negligent towards indigenous melanated women. So that's just in the hospital, and just knowing if there's support around, knowing what the mental state of people are. If everybody around you is extremely stressed and busy and also just trying to survive, how would they be able to have the extra time to reach to support you when they need support themselves? So those are some of the things that I feel give me pause. But ultimately, there's other things that I can still see for myself, right? Or if I do want to visualize myself in that maternal state, I can see myself in an optimal condition, in an optimal environment where I do have the support that I need, and caregivers that are readily available in the community to play their part, and it's so reciprocal and it's so synergistic. That's what I like to fantasize about. And so this question of do we want kids? I know society wants us to have kids. Society definitely wants us to reproduce and contribute more worker bees into the workforce, more taxpayers, more labor, if you will, more people to find, right? Another soul to exploit, another soul to be added onto into the matrix. And so, I consider these things. Like, do I want to give in to that? I know I have a natural instinct, a natural urge and desire to procreate as a woman, as a mammal that is female. And I'm not one of those girls that always knew she wouldn't have kids or something. Like, I am very open to the idea. I just feel like conditions need to make sense, and right now they do not make sense. So there's no compromising that, because ultimately this is my life, and it's my mental health that would suffer. It's my financial situation that would suffer. It's my goals that would have to take a seat in the back burner. And those aren't things. And it's my child that I would be willfully bringing into a situation that is not optimal. So we have willpower, we have choices, we all have options. So that's just not something that I'm willing to do. So yeah, some people feel called towards it. Some women feel called towards it. Others don't naturally. And then others consider, they're on the fence. And so it just depends on the circumstances. So I would just recommend sitting with those questions and just really sitting with the idea, meditating on it, journaling about what you receive. But yeah, just even in general, just overall, just asking yourself what your life would look like in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. What would your life look like if you had kids? What would your life look like without kids? If you stay with that man that you're with, what your life looks like. If you leave him, is this something that you want to do, but you're with the man? I was watching this video about this girl. She lived in New York from age 22 to 32, and it was time for her to renew her lease, and she was looking for apartments in Manhattan. And at first she had a studio that was $3,000, but she was saying that was a good deal. But she still she was looking for more apartments and stuff, and realizing this is just not what she wants anymore, and it's not worth it. She wants more space. She just has bigger desires that she's not able to give herself living in New York. And so she was thinking of like, where else could she go? She was toying with the idea of going to Los Angeles once she discovered that the rent is not the same. It's not comparable. It's actually cheaper in relation to New York. And she was with the man though at the time, and she didn't want to leave her boyfriend. And she told him, she was like, if I was single, I would have left already. And when she said that to herself, she had an epiphany that so basically he's the one keeping her there, even though it's not what she wants. So you're making a decision based off of another person. And ultimately, that's a dangerous game to play. That's a very dangerous game to play, because we can never please everybody. But I personally feel like the best person we can please, though, is ourselves. The best person to please is ourselves. When we go to bed at night feeling good about ourselves, right? Ourselves/God, ourselves and God. Like that comes first. And that's, for me, that's inseparable, because I don't want anything if God doesn't approve of it, or if God hasn't signed off of it. Like, if God doesn't want it for me, I don't want it. I'm not here without God. I'm nothing without God. So that's implied, just for y'all who don't know what my page is all about. That's always first. So putting that relationship with me and my creator above, okay, well, I want to be with my boyfriend, but internally you're feeling a calling for something bigger, something greater, something more aligned with where you are right now in this season. Things have seasons, and we never want to feel too attached to any said chapter in our lives and feel too much aversion to closing that chapter. Like, it is totally fine. We must learn to be like water and flow with life, but at the same time, sitting with that direction is going to give us clarity. It's going to give us vision. Sitting with that vision is going to give us direction and clarity. It's going to give us purpose and meaning. And so once we start to feel what resonates with those things, we can flow with that. And if that means leaving a certain situation that you thought you were supposed to be in, you just have to trust the process. Because if you are saying that you want to be clear, if you're being clear on what you're saying you want, and then certain doors start to be shut and it seems like it was out of your control, you just have to trust that that's God. You just have to trust that that's the part of you that is operating in the subconscious, operating on a subatomic level, operating on quantum levels. There's another reality merging with this one, and in order for that to happen, which is aligned with what you want, certain things just cannot resonate on that timeline. And so we have to be allowing. We have to allow. But yes, so ladies, the last thing I'll mention is to check who you're around. Check who you are hanging out with and who the people are around you. Do they have goals? Have they written down their goals, right? Do they write? Do they read? Do they meditate? Do they do yoga? Do they exercise? Do they stretch? Do they do breath work? Do they eat healthy? Do they go out into nature? Do they speak kindly about people? Do they check up on their friends and family, and their network? Are they good to people? You got to ask yourself, because, do they moderate themselves? Do they moderate themselves, or are they obsessive about things? Or not obsessive, but are they overly addictive and stuff, and showing lack of discipline, lack of self-control, lack of patience, and a lack of willpower, whatever that stuff is? It all rubs off on us. It all has an effect on us. So we should be very mindful of who it is that we are allowing to influence us, because if we're around them, they're influencing us. And so building sisterhood and building a strong network of women around you can help you stay on your path. Once you do start to create, clearly write out, clearly define your goals, your life's going to change, and you're going to attract the women who are aligned with what you've got going on. So yeah, ladies, we want to embrace our femininity. We want to embrace our feminine essence, because we are naturally soft, especially if you're an indigenous woman. We are naturally soft because we are naturally connected to earth and all of her beauty and all of her magic. So sharpen your intuition, do your meditations, journal out, spend time in nature and private and stillness, speak to your emotional wisdom, encourage yourself, know that you are supported divinely, and know that you are capable of being strong mentally and achieving all of your goals, and having the endurance to do whatever you need to do, to have the discipline, the consistency, time and time again, to do what you need to do when you need to do it again and again. That's all it takes, is knowing the positive habits. I'm saying that's all it takes. Like, it's easy. Of course, the discipline, the consistency is extremely easy. Fighting temptation when it comes, and the distractions and everything that tries to pull us off course, which is why it's so important to take inventory of our relationships, because we don't need anything making this more difficult than it already is. It's already difficult to master ourselves. Now, if we're trying to master ourselves surrounded by people who have no intention of mastering themselves, that's going to make things incredibly difficult. It's crazy. So whether you want kids or not, whether you want a traditional path, if you want to be a trad wife, if you want to be a business owner, an entrepreneur, a person that just has a garden and lives on the land and is in harmony with nature and her community, seeing it clearly and just defining it and asking yourself, like, what is it? What really is it? What is it? Which one? And you can have a blend. Life is not limited, really. Like, our imagination, we can visualize anything. Visualize that apple again, now make it turn purple. Boom. That's mental Photoshop. You're magical, babe. Like, whatever you want to do, whatever you can see for yourself, you can get it. The first step is just making it clear, though. Like, God is willing to help us, but we have to put our order in. The universe wants to give us whatever we put out. So it's important for us to be very intentional with what it is that we're putting out, the order that we're putting out. Describe it. See it. You can't just, write or visualize it. You have to, like, write it out, describe it, say it, live it. Everything, just rapid fire, come at it with the focus from all angles, and it's inevitably gonna manifest and come into fruition. So yeah, just put your focus on the optimal relationships, optimal environments, your creativity, your imagination, your purpose, and what ultimately is going to give you the most amount of fulfillment in your life. So I invite you today sit with these questions, write them down, meditate on them, talk to some amazing medicine women in your circle, explore your heart's desires, and watch some YouTube videos, go on Pinterest, get inspired, watch some vlogs, look at some travel videos, get inspired. Thank you for watching. And if this resonated, hit like and subscribe and share this with the woman you love. Let's lift each other up, ladies. Until next time. Peace.